Game on, LeBron James balls out in Space Jam, a new legacy first look. Squad goals Space Jam, a new legacy. After initially passing 15 years ago, LeBron James is finally ready to take the Space Jam mantle from Michael Jordan in Space Jam, a new legacy, out July 16 in theaters and on HBO Max, which graces the new cover of EU. It's something Mike created and is his, James says of the beloved franchise, first held that with a lot of responsibility, as does EU in premiering this highly anticipated first look. Putting the jam in Space Jam, a new legacy. I had that wow moment, like, mama, I'm doing this, I'm really shooting Space Jam. James recalls of putting the Toon Squad jersey on for the first time. A loony squad move over, Anthony Davis and the rest of the Lakers, because James's new running mates are Tweety and the Toon Squad. We were reminded very quickly why the Looney Tunes work, says new legacy producer Ryan Coogler. When we watch the parts of the film featuring the Toons, you have a smile come over your face because, if you're from our generation, you miss them. A hair-raising hoop dream. It was very important to me to be traditional about the Looney Tunes portrayals, new legacy director Malcolm D. Lee says of Bugs Bunny and Compabby. LeBron's toughest opponent yet. James and son Dom, Cedric Joe, are pulled into the Warner 3000 Entertainment serververse by Don Cheadle's rogue AI, Al G. Rhythm. The MCU veteran doesn't consider Al G a bad guy, what bad guy does, but rather, an AI with a chip on his shoulder. From war machine to artificial intelligence, half of the fun is going into the mind of an AI. What do they think about themselves? What do they want everyone else to see, says Cheadle, pictured with Joe, of Al G. Rhythm, who puts together the formidable Goon Squad. The new Lola. Upon watching Space Jam for the first time in 2019, Lee was caught off guard by the original's very sexualized depiction of Lola Bunny. This is 2021. It's important to reflect the authenticity of strong, capable female characters, the Girls Trip filmmaker says of why they reworked Lola, aka the team's best non-LeBron player. All in the family. LeBron and Dom aren't the only members of the James family. First would step back and marvel that I was part of something like this, says Sonequa Martin Green, who plays strong-willed James matriarch Kamaya, pictured with on-screen kids Harper Lee Alexander and Sierra Wright. We have now taken over your franchise. Long before producing new legacy, Coogler was just a middle schooler performing Space Jam's memorable track, Hit 'Em High, at a talent show. It felt like a real cultural moment, he says of the first film's release in 1996. Crafting a new legacy, it was always about respecting Space Jam, but also, how do we make a film that's interesting, matters to the culture, and is about something, says James's producing partner and longtime friend Maverick Carter, seen here during production with Cheadle. Coaching LeBron. Although James opted against an acting coach on 2015's Trainwreck, Lee, pictured with James, and Cheadle schooled him on new legacy. Just like in the NBA, I like to be coached by my coaches, James explains. First was the same way on set.